There's something magical about the 1960s. You hear just a few notes from that era, and suddenly you're back in a world of vinyl stacks, neon diner signs, and late-night radio hosts whispering through tiny transistor speakers. All the leaves are brown in the sky. You see, the 60s didn't just give us music. It gave us moments. It gave us stories. If everybody had an ocean across the U.S.A. And honestly, it gave us a soundtrack that still sneaks into our hearts like sunlight through an old bedroom curtain. Today, we're rewinding time to revisit 20 legendary hits that shaped a generation and kept the world humming. And when I touch you, I feel happy. Some made us dance. Some made us dream. All of them left a mark. So dust off that old record player, because it's time to spin back the clock. Why can't you see what you do? Number 1. Suspicious Minds by Elvis Presley. We can't go on together with suspicious minds. You see, when Elvis rolled out Suspicious Minds in 1969, it felt like the world suddenly remembered why he was the king in the first place. When you don't believe a word I say. The man had been wandering a bit, stuck in Hollywood fluff and fading buzz, but this song, we can build our dreams on suspicion. This was his comeback thunder. The story of two lovers trapped in jealousy hit people right in the chest. Because who hasn't felt that push and pull between fear and devotion? And honestly, while the lyrics were all about doubt, fans had none. They rushed to buy the record faster than teenagers racing to the mall on a Saturday morning. It shot straight to number 1 and became his final chart-topping anthem. A little tragic, but fitting for a legend making one last victorious roar. You give me your love so sweetly. Number 2, Will You Love Me Tomorrow by the Shirelles. But will you love me tomorrow? Here's the thing. When the Shirelles released this one, they didn't just sing a love song, they cracked open every teenage heart in America. It was tender, uncertain, and honest in a way pop music hadn't really dared to be yet. Tonight you're mine. That question, will you still love me tomorrow? Felt like it floated through every school dance and summer crush of the era. What made it iconic wasn't just the melody, it was the courage behind it. A black girl group stepping into a spotlight that had rarely welcomed them, and suddenly owning the number 1 spot. It opened the door for a whole wave of girl group magic that defined early 60s radio. Looking back, the song still feels like a diary entry whispered under a bedroom lamp. Sweet, scared, hopeful, completely timeless. As I walk along, I wonder. Number 3, Runaway by Shannon. And as I still walk on, I think of the things. Runaway arrived in 1961 like it came beaming down from some neon-lit UFO. That wild electronic organ riff? Nobody had heard anything like it. It made every jukebox in every diner suddenly sound like the future. And then Shannon comes in, pouring his heart out about a love that vanished faster than a speeding muscle car. I'm a walking in the rain. There's a You see, the song didn't just play sadness, it wailed it. That high-pitched cry in the chorus made teenagers feel like someone finally understood heartbreak in its most dramatic form. But here's the twist. As modern ears got used to smoother production and quieter emotions, the song started to sound almost theatrical. Still, that's part of its charm. It's pure early 60s drama. She ran away, and I wonder. Loud, aching, unforgettable. And it raced straight to #1 because every listener had their own Runaway story tucked somewhere inside. Number 4, The Twist by Chubby Checker. And go like this. Now this wasn't just a song. It was a national emergency of hips and knees. The Twist hit America in 1960 and instantly turned living rooms, school gyms, and even office parties into spinning dance floors. You love me so, and then twist again. Everyone twisted. Kids, parents, even grandparents who hadn't moved like that since big band days. It was the closest thing the 60s had to a fitness craze. Who's that flying up there? Is it a bird? But then, the song did something no other track in history has ever done. It hit #1 twice. When it was re-released in '62, the whole world twisted all over again. Sure, dance crazes eventually come and go, but the twist still feels like opening the door to a time when music didn't just get stuck in your head, it grabbed your whole body and said, "Come on, just move." Number 5, She Loves You by the Beatles. You see, the moment She Loves You landed in 1964, America didn't just hear a song. They heard a tidal wave called the British Invasion. Those 3 little words, yeah, 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 were like a spark that set off nationwide hysteria. Teenagers screamed, radios overloaded, and Beatlemania officially clocked in for duty. What made it so iconic wasn't complexity, it was joy. Pure, bouncy, unstoppable joy. She almost lost her mind, but now she says The Beatles didn't just tell a love story, they delivered good news with a grin, like a best friend running up to you at the mall to spill the latest gossip. Yes, she loves you, and you know you should be glad. Sure, time has softened the edges, and today the simplicity feels almost too sweet. She says she knows you're not the guy. But that sweetness is why it worked. It reminds you of crushes, dance halls, and the thrill of hearing something completely new. It wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural detonation. Number 6, I Can't Stop Loving You by Ray Charles. I can't stop loving you. Here's the thing. Ray Charles shocked everyone in 1962 when he stepped away from his usual rhythm and blues and embraced a country ballad. A country ballad! And instead of feeling out of place, he turned it into a soul-soaked confession that could melt even the coldest heart. It's useless to say. The song felt like someone sitting alone at the kitchen table long after midnight, staring into a cup of coffee and admitting the truth. I'm still in love, and I can't shake it. Listeners felt that honesty instantly. It still made me blue. They didn't just buy the record, they lived in it. Here's a broken heart. 5 straight weeks at number 1 proved Ray didn't break genre rules. It's useless to say. He rewrote them. And today, the track still feels like emotional gravity pulling you back to the one person you never quite forget. Sherry, baby, Sherry. Number 7, Sherry by the Four Seasons. When Sherry hit the airwaves in 1962, it was like Frankie Valli aimed his falsetto straight at the sky and refused to come back down. That soaring voice became the band's signature weapon, slicing through car radios and mall speakers like nothing else from the era. The song itself is simple. He's basically begging Sherry to give him a chance. But that simplicity is exactly why it worked. You see, sometimes a hook doesn't have to be complicated to be unforgettable. Sherry felt like a roller skating rink anthem, the kind that made teenagers zip a little faster under the disco lights. It was their first number 1 hit, and it kicked off a run of chart toppers that turned the Four Seasons into household names. Even now, that opening falsetto hits like a nostalgic jolt straight to the spine. You see 'em wearing their baggies, we're Archies sandals too. Number 8, Surfin' U.S.A. by the Beach Boys. Surfin' U.S.A. You'll catch 'em surfing. This one practically smells like sunscreen and ocean breeze. Released in 1963, Surfin' U.S.A. turned the entire country into honorary Californians. Most listeners had never even touched a surfboard, but the moment that bright guitar kicked in, they could almost feel sand between their toes. You see 'em wearing their baggies, we're Archies sandals too. The Beach Boys painted a picture so vivid that even people stuck in snowy towns suddenly dreamed of waxed boards and perfect waves. But here's the fun twist. The song wasn't deep or philosophical. It didn't need to be. It was pure, sun-soaked escapism. Sure, surf culture changed and music trends moved on, but this track stayed frozen, like a postcard from an endless summer. It only hit number 3, yet it crowned the Beach Boys as the kings of surf rock, forever tied to blue skies and that carefree California dream.
You went away, and you hung around, and bothered me every night.
Number 9, My Boyfriend's Back by the Angels.
My boyfriend's back, and you're gonna be in trouble. Hey, la.
You Better Watch Out became the sassiest threat of 1963. My Boyfriend's Back wasn't just a song, it was a warning shot wrapped in bubblegum pop. The Angels delivered it with such playful confidence that teenage girls everywhere felt instantly empowered. It was catchy, cheeky, and dripping with that girl group sparkle that ruled early 60s radio. But the charm comes from the attitude. You see, this wasn't a sad breakup song, it was a victory lap. He's been gone for such a long time. The heroine isn't heartbroken, she's grinning because karma finally showed up wearing a leather jacket. When the track shot to number 1, it proved that pop didn't always need heartbreak. Sometimes it just needed a little payback wrapped in harmonies.
He's back and things will be fine. Hey, Lottie.
Even today, the song feels like opening a vintage high school locker plastered with stickers and secret notes.
My boyfriend is kind of big and he's up full strong.
Lighthearted, fearless, and a whole lot of fun.
Baby, 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 don't leave me.
Number 10, Where Did Our Love Go by the Supremes.
Where did our love go? Ooh, don't you?
When Diana Ross and the Supremes released Where Did Our Love Go in 1964, it felt like Motown suddenly shifted into high gear. The song glided in with a heartbeat-steady rhythm and a soft plea that sounded almost too vulnerable for such polished pop. Diana's voice didn't explode, it simmered.
So helplessly, you know.
And somehow, that made the heartbreak even sharper. Here's the thing. The lyrics are simple. A girl trying to understand why love suddenly vanished. But that simplicity hit listeners like a quiet truth they'd been avoiding. The track held the #1 spot and opened the floodgates for Motown's golden era. What hasn't aged as well is how gentle it feels compared to today's emotional fireworks. But that gentleness is why it still works. It's the kind of song that leaves you staring out a window, letting old memories drift in like summer air. Number 11, I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. When the Stones unleashed Satisfaction in 1965, it sounded like a generation kicking down the door of the future. That opening guitar riff, raw, buzzing, restless, felt like someone plugged teenage frustration straight into an amplifier. It wasn't polished or polite. It wasn't trying to charm anyone. It was a shout from the gut saying, "Satisfaction, 'cause I tried. Life isn't giving me what I want, and I'm tired of pretending otherwise." You see, that honesty was electric. Kids who felt misunderstood suddenly had an anthem, and adults who hoped rock would quiet down quickly realized it was only getting louder. The song shot to #1 and cemented the Stones as the gritty counterpunch to the Beatles' sweetness. Today, the riff may feel familiar from decades of imitation, but the attitude behind it, still pure fire. Number 12, California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. Released during a chilly winter in 1965, California Dreamin' felt like someone opened a window and let warm sunlight spill into the room. Those harmonies wrapped around listeners like a daydream, and suddenly everyone trapped in cold cities and crowded buses found themselves longing for palm trees and ocean air. It was escapism in the softest, most beautiful form. But here's the thing. Underneath the warmth sits a quiet ache. The song isn't just dreaming, it's yearning. That blend of melancholy and hope made it irresistible. He knows I'm gonna stay. Even people who had never set foot in California felt like they'd been homesick for it their whole lives. It only hit number 4, but it became timeless. A song you play when winter feels a bit too long and you need a musical ticket to somewhere brighter. Number 13, When a Man Loves a Woman by Percy Sledge. When Percy Sledge stepped up to the mic in 1966, It sounded like he emptied every corner of his heart into one song. When A Man Loves a Woman wasn't performed, it was lived. His voice cracked, swelled, and trembled with the kind of emotion you only hear from someone who's been through the fire and still believes in love anyway. You see, the message is simple. Love makes us brave, foolish, loyal, and sometimes blind. But that honesty struck listeners like lightning. The song soared straight to #1 and turned Percy from an unknown hospital orderly into a soul music legend overnight. What's wild is that the track still holds its power. Play it today and instantly the room softens. It's slow dancing in a dim living room. It's wedding receptions. It's heartbreak rescued by hope. It's soul at its purest. Number 14, Respect by Aretha Franklin. When Aretha Franklin sang Respect in 1967, it wasn't just a cover, it was a reclamation. She took Otis Redding's song and transformed it into a bold declaration that echoed through homes, streets, and radios everywhere. Her voice didn't ask for respect, it commanded it. Every RESPECT felt like a spark hitting dry grass. Suddenly, the whole country was lit up. But here's the magic. The song wasn't angry. It was confident, joyful, and powered by a groove that still makes you straighten your shoulders a little taller. It hit #1 and crowned Aretha as the undisputed queen of soul. And sure, music trends have shifted over the decades, but this track hasn't aged a minute. It still feels like a rallying cry, one that reminds you to stand up, speak up, and expect nothing less than what you deserve. Number 15, Light My Fire by The Doors. When The Doors released Light My Fire in 1967, it felt like stepping into a smoky nightclub where time moved differently. Jim Morrison's hypnotic voice drifted through that iconic organ riff like a dare, inviting listeners into a world that was mysterious, smoldering, and just a little dangerous. It wasn't a pop song, it was an atmosphere. You see, the track captured the feeling of a love so intense it could set the whole world ablaze. For some, it was thrilling. For others, a little too wild. But either way, it was unforgettable. The song surged to #1 and helps define the psychedelic sound of the era. Today, the long instrumental break might feel like a relic from a more patient time, but that's part of its charm. It's a slow burn, strange, beautiful, and impossible to forget. Number 16, Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. There's a quiet kind of magic in this song. Recorded in 1967, just before Otis Redding's tragic passing, Dock of the Bay feels like a peaceful sigh from someone who'd finally stopped running. The gentle whistle, the soft waves, the slow reflection. It's a moment of stillness in a decade that rarely slowed down. I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide. You see, the beauty is in its simplicity. Otis wasn't shouting or preaching. He was sitting, thinking, letting life drift by like ships on the water.
I left my home in Georgia.
After his death, the song was released in 1968 and became the first posthumous #1 hit in Billboard history.
Headed for the Frisco Bay.
It's bittersweet, knowing he never saw the world embrace it. But maybe that's why it hits so deeply. It feels like a farewell wrapped in sunlight. Number 17, I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye. When Marvin Gaye stepped up with Grapevine in 1968, he turned rumors and heartbreak into pure gold. The bass line slinks in like a whispered secret, and suddenly you're right there with him, feeling that sting of betrayal.
With some other guy you knew before.
It wasn't loud or angry. It was smooth, simmering, full of tension that never quite lets you go. And honestly, that's what made it iconic. The song lingered with listeners, gripping them note by note until it rose to #1 for 4 straight weeks. It became Marvin's biggest hit, spreading far beyond Motown and into the heart of American culture. Today, it still carries that smoky, late-night weight, like the feeling you get when you hear news you wish wasn't true, delivered in a voice too beautiful to ignore.
You are my candy girl, and you got me.
Number 18, Sugar Sugar by the Archies.
Honey, oh, sugar, sugar.
Now here's a sweet surprise from 1969, a cartoon band dropping the year's biggest hit.
Oh, sugar, sugar. You are my.
Sugar Sugar was pure bubblegum pop, bright and sugary enough to stick to your memory for days.
I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you.
It didn't pretend to be deep. It didn't need to. The charm was in its innocence.
You got me wanting you.
Love described like candy, simple and joyful, as if romance were something you could scoop from a jar.
You are my candy girl, and you got me.
But here's the twist. Even critics who rolled their eyes couldn't deny how catchy it was.
I just can't believe the loveliness of loving you.
The song held #1 for 4 weeks and became the biggest hit of the entire year. And honestly, every generation has a song like this. Light, playful, and impossible not to smile at, no matter how grown up you pretend to be.
The night we met, I knew I needed you.
Number 19, Be My Baby by the Ronettes.
The chance I never let you go.
When Be My Baby burst onto the scene in 1963, it felt like the soundtrack to every teenage crush in America. Ronnie Spector's voice, sweet, urgent, vulnerable, came wrapped in Phil Spector's massive wall of sound, making the whole track feel larger than life.
Had the chance, I never let you go.
The opening drum beat alone could stop you mid-step. You see, this wasn't just a love song. It was a plea straight from the heart, the kind you whisper into the phone long after your parents think you're asleep.
We go, so won't you please be my.
Over time, production styles changed, and that towering sound might feel dramatic by today's standards.
We'll make them turn their head every place.
But the emotion? Still perfect. Be My Baby remains one of the most beloved girl group tracks ever made, the kind that instantly turns the world soft and glowing for 3 sweet minutes. Number 20, Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys. If the 60s had a single song that sounded like pure California sunlight, it was Good Vibrations. Released in 1966, this track was Brian Wilson's masterpiece. A patchwork of melodies, harmonies, and dreamy instruments stitched together with almost obsessive care.
She's somehow closer now.
It felt like riding a wave through different worlds, each part shimmering with its own warmth. The moment that theremin floats in, you're weightless. But here's the thing. It was ambitious. Wildly ambitious. Some listeners didn't know what to make of it at first, yet the risk paid off. The song hit #1 and became one of the most innovative pop creations of its time. Even now, it feels fresh, like opening a window to a bright, breezy day you wish would never end. And there you have it, 20 unforgettable songs that didn't just top charts, they shaped memories. They played from car radios during first dates, echoed through living rooms on lazy Sunday afternoons, and drifted out of open windows during long summer evenings. You see, the 60s weren't just a decade, they were a feeling. A blend of joy, rebellion, heartbreak, and hope wrapped in melodies we still hum without thinking. Now it's your turn. Which of these tracks takes you back the fastest? Which one still lives somewhere in your playlists, your car rides, or your daydreams? Drop your favorite in the comments so we can rewind a little more together. And don't forget to subscribe. There are plenty more golden memories waiting on the next spin.
If I leave you tomorrow. When you're on the street, you got to be able to pick out the easy meat.